Australia, land of sunshine, kangaroos and emu wars. You read that right. In 1932, the Australian Army declared war on a bird. Yes, a bird, and not just any bird, but the emu, a creature so ridiculous looking it could make a platypus laugh. Tall, flightless, and possessing an incredible ability to absorb bullets like they were birdseed, the emu became Australia's most unlikely enemy. This is the story of the Great Emu War. A tale so strange, so hilarious, it could only be true. Picture this, it's 1932, the Great Depression is hitting Australia hard. Times are tough, especially for farmers. The men who fought in World War I came home hoping for a good life. Instead, they faced drought, plummeting crop prices, and now, to add insult to injury, tens of thousands of emus. These feathered fiends were migrating inland, and guess what was in their way? That's right, the farmers' crops. Now, emus are not known for their table manners. They descended upon the farmers' fields like a horde of feathered locusts, gobbling up everything in sight, wheat, barley, whatever they could get their beaks on. They trampled fences, destroyed crops, and generally made a nuisance of themselves. The farmers were desperate. Their livelihoods were being destroyed by giant, flightless birds. What were they to do? The farmers appealed to the government for help. The government, perhaps feeling a little generous or maybe just wanting to get the farmers off their backs, decided to call in the big guns, literally. They dispatched a contingent of soldiers armed with Lewis guns, serious military hardware to deal with the emu menace. Leading this feathered fiasco was Major G.P.W. Meredith, a man who was about to earn his place in the annals of military history, albeit not in the way he might have hoped. Section 5, Lewis Guns versus Feathers, a comedy of errors. What followed was a comedy of errors that would have made Charlie Chaplin proud. The soldiers, used to facing human enemies, found themselves woefully unprepared for the emu's unique brand of warfare. Emus, you see, are surprisingly hard to hit. They can run like the wind, dodging bullets like feathered Neo from the Matrix. And when they did get hit, well, they often just shrugged it off and kept on running. It was like shooting marshmallows at a tank. Section 6, Retreat! The emus have won! The emus scattered, regrouped, and continued their rampage. It was a rout. The soldiers, demoralized and outmaneuvered by birds, were forced to retreat. The Great Emu War, if you could call it that, was a resounding victory for the feathered enemy. The government had spent a fortune, fired thousands of rounds of ammunition, and achieved, well, not a lot. The emus, meanwhile, were free to continue their reign of avian terror. Section 7, if we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds. The press had a field day, of course. Major Meredith, once a respected military man, was now the butt of jokes nationwide. His comment about the emus' impressive bullet-carrying capacity became legendary. The government, red-faced and embarrassed, quietly withdrew from the field of battle, leaving the farmers to fend for themselves. Section 8, the emus, a continuing saga. Despite the government's surrender, the emus remained a problem. They continued to plague farmers for years to come. Eventually, though, a solution was found. No, not more guns. They built fences. Yes, fences. It turned out to be a remarkably effective strategy. The emus, stymied by this low-tech obstacle, eventually gave up and went elsewhere. Section 9, the Great Emu War, a feather in Australia's cap. The Great Emu War may have been a military disaster, but it became a beloved part of Australian folklore. Today, it's remembered with a mixture of amusement and pride. It's a story that perfectly encapsulates the Australian spirit, resilient, resourceful, and always up for a good laugh, even at their own expense. The Great Emu War serves as a reminder that sometimes the most absurd situations can teach us the most valuable lessons. In this case, it was a lesson in humility, a reminder that even the mightiest armies can be defeated by the unlikeliest of foes. And sometimes all you need to win a war is a good fence.